Alright, well here's what happened to me today. I was driving into Three Rivers with my truck and a wheel fell off. And I skidded down the road a little ways and off the edge of the road and watched my wheel go bouncing down the road and bouncing over people and traffic and bouncing in between trees and landed up by somebody's house. A little bit embarrassing to say the least, but not only that, but it had me kind of curious why I had just gotten done putting those lug nuts on with my impact wrench about 66 miles ago, and 66 miles is not enough time for wheels to be loosening up when you're putting them on with an impact. So got me wondering what was going on. I thought either one of two things happened. Somebody either messed with my lug nuts, or there might be something wrong with the impact wrench. So I learned one lesson, and that would be I should always double check my lug nuts with a 4-way. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in. Well, okay, let's not get ahead of the story here. I found out that this adjustment is hardly any detent to it, and it was way in the wrong position. All right, so it wasn't putting them on with near enough torque. So what I plan on doing right now is taking this tailpiece off of here and see if I can clean that up and maybe get that to have a little bit more detent so that when I set it, it stays. And forevermore, I will always double check lug nuts with a 4-way wrench then, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and when I get this apart, I'll let you see what it is. This is a Campbell Hausfeld classic impact wrench, just a 1/2-inch impact. It's a PL 2502 according to this. So anyways, we're going to rip this thing apart and see what we got. Okay, here's what I find. This is the tail piece. When I turn these, they're kind of gritty, so I'm going to try to clean these passages out with a little bit of first some carb cleaner, and then I'll use my first my parts tank, and then I'll use some carb cleaner on it. And here's the bearing for the back end of him and the gasket, and looks like there might be a little bit of gunk down in there, so I might looks like this gasket will come off without being hurt. Yep, no problem there. And will this come out of here? Yes, that will come out of there. So I'm going to clean it all up. Oh, I see what it is. Alright, it's this fin style deal. Okay, so I will clean the fins up and everything, and re-oil it and all that kind of stuff, and clean all the gunk out of the passages and all that kind of stuff, and put her back together, and we'll see how she does. Okay, I've cleaned up all the vanes, cleaned up the screws that holds the tailpiece on, and cleaned the impeller. And I cleaned this and cleaned my little setting things. And I figured, well, why stop now? I might as well take the nose piece off and clean it too. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. And then we'll put her back together and see if she works. Okay, your nose piece, when that comes off, that's just basically a housing with a bushing in it. And once you pull that off, this is what you got, is this little thing with all the... This is a heavy little gizmo. This apparently creates your impact. When it spins, it probably clatters around on there and creates impact. So, and then that just lifts up off of there, and then there's 2 lining pins on there that holds everything together, I believe. Oh yeah, it keeps them kind of in place, and I'll clean that. And then there's just a little, like a spacer or a washing or whatever that sits on top of this bearing here. So I'm going to clean all this, and I think I can see if I can gently get that gasket off there and get it cleaned. Okay, I thought I'd see if I can let you guys see me take this thing apart. It's kind of an interesting little gadget. If you turn this around a little bit, kind of wiggle it around. Oh, yeah, you have to almost lift up on it. You'll get it to where this thing will pop right out of there. Okay, and that's that gizmo. You can turn it whatever you want to do to. These 2 silver pins, pull them out of there. set them aside, and then just lift this gizmo up and you got these two dogs. Alright, just remember which is top. Top is important on that. And on these here you can mix them around or whatever, but you have to have them the opposite of each other when you put them back in. So I clean everything all up, drop them back in, get my pins, start your pin, and make sure it lines. One's got a narrow slot and the other one's got a wide slot. Just get your pin in there, then do your other side. Just wiggle it around until it goes through the slot. Then this piece here, just take in here, keep turning, and if you turn it and push it in, after a while you get it to where it does that. Back together again. That easy. Alright, what I'm going to do to put this piece back together is I'm going to do just the opposite actually of what I took it apart. I'm going to put this back in first and then I'll put the nose piece on afterwards. And so what I'm going to do with this here is I'm going to take those fiberglass vanes and I'm going to put oil on them, some air tool oil, so that they'll kind of stick in that rotor or whatever you want to call it, this impeller. And then I'll put it down in there. Then I'll put the back plate on. Okay, now that's in there. Now this pin right here, that goes in there. That drops down through this hole. And then this gasket. And there. Had to settle down just a little bit. And I'm probably going to have to, I don't know if I can, yeah, I'll have to put the camera down. Okay, and now that the back's on, now I'm ready to put the front on. And I'm going to take this little hammer gizmo. Oh, first of all I'm going to take this washer, and there's a external dent and an internal dent. The external dent I'm going to put down on the bearing. That goes down onto the bearing so it fits on the inside race. Then this guy here will take and he goes onto this gear like so, and then the nose piece. The nose piece is oblong, so you just got to put the wide part to the top and got to get your bushing to go over the end piece. And then put the screws in. Okay, now that that's together, I'm going to take and pop out this oil plug here. And I'm going to put quite a bit of oil in there since it's been basically dried out, and then we can test her out. It's going to make a mess on me. It's going to blow oil all over the place, but that's alright. I'm going to put quite a bit in there because it basically doesn't have any oil in them right now. This thing's oiled by my oil system. My air system has a oiler right at my air tool hookup where I put my air tools. So that's how it gets oiled. Now this detent on this thing didn't really come out quite like I'd liked it to. It still isn't a positive detent, but I imagine probably it's getting kind of worn. But I'll see as I use it whether it's going to stay in place or not. Okay, now that's that. Put it in forwards gears and we'll hook it up and see if it's going to run. Actually, it sounds mighty good. So now, probably tomorrow I'll run my truck in here, or if I don't get to tomorrow, Thursday, and I'll go through all my lug nuts and see if I can get them a little snugger, see if this thing's going to do the job or not, and then I'll check them with my impact wrench to see where they're at, and we'll see how she's doing. Well, thanks for watching.